This is we're gathered here today for the cane presentation, and it's especially pleasing to me because it's one of Newbury's own citizens. Born in New London, actually, but brought here right after birth and spent his whole life. We won't talk about that time in Vermont, so we'll leave that out. Okay. But spent his whole life here, spent his whole career working for the state, I guess is the most of it. But anyway, my name is Deane Geddes. I'm part of the Historical Society. We have a couple other members of the society here. Sally's photographing the event. Barbara is here. Dick's here. Who else is here? Railroad John Lyons is here.
Gary.
And who am I missing? Oh, in the pink. And how could I miss you? Hey, Gary, where's Gary? In the back? Thank you.
Pat.
Okay. I'm going to go through a couple of quick steps here. And I'm going to quickly speak about Mike's biography, which he was kind enough to supply. Then I also wanted to give you some information on the cane's background. And then we're going to present the cane and hopefully take a photo of Mike and his family back against the wall there. And then,
Back against the wall.
yeah, that's where the measuring stick is. Okay, I'm distracted now.
Sorry.
I'm distracted now. Anyway, I'd like to begin with a story, but at the same time, if any of you think of something or a memory about Mike and you'd like to interject, just raise your hand and do that, okay? And I want to tell you, Mike, I want to start with your father. I knew your father. Who else knew? Outstanding. I want to take you back to 1966. I'd gotten my first car. What was this? 60 Chevy Bel Air. And and I live south of Boston, and I wanted to come up and visit my favorite aunt and uncle up here on Bell Cove. So I get in the car and drive up here, and when I arrived, I realized that oil was spraying everywhere in the car. And you know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any money in my pocket. I probably only had enough to pay the tolls on the turnpike to go back, you know. And, but anyway, my uncle said to me, "You take that car right down there and see George." And so I drove down there, and you know, he wouldn't know me from Adam because I was just a summer kid. And so I told him who I was. I told him who my uncle was. And he says, "Oh yeah, I know your uncle." And I said, "I got this problem." So I opened the hood, and he could see the oil spitting out of the dipstick holder. And he says, "You see that pipe right there? You go back to your uncle's, and you take that pipe off, and you flush it out with kerosene because it's clogged." So that was the resolution. He didn't turn to me and say something like, "Why don't you pack it over there? I'll look at it Tuesday." You know, yeah. He didn't ask for any money. He just helped me out and sent me on my way. So in thinking about that story on the way over here today, I can't imagine how many people George Croteau helped in this town during his time as fire chief. He drove the school bus. Did he wear a badge at one time?
No.
No, he didn't have a badge. But anyway, I think I'm certainly not the only one that benefited by George. Which concludes, my father would say something like this: "You come from good stock, Mikey." Okay, all right. Anybody? Okay. The cane history. John, would you hold the cane up so you can see what we have here? That's the Newbury cane. And a lot of times when we talk about the cane, a lot of people remember the story back in 1909 when the editor of the Boston Post magazine, obviously in Boston, wanted to increase readership. And so he had, his idea was that he would have these canes made and send them out to New England communities to be presented to the oldest citizen in town. So that's sort of the common one. And he ordered 700 canes. We didn't get one. No, we didn't get one. In fact, I was surprised at the number. Well, anyway, that actually still continues. Every once in a while I'll read in the newspapers where the Boston Post cane was presented to somebody in some town. But our history actually goes a little earlier than that. And ours dates back to what we call the Grange cane. As you know, the Grange building down here in South Newbury was the center of the universe for the townspeople for a very long time. Many people went to the Grange, multi-generational. It was the meeting place, the place to go. And back in, where was it, 1892, some 15 years before the Boston Post came, we read from the meeting minutes that they would set aside some money for a cane to be given to a William Sawyer. I think he's one of your, could be, yeah. And they would set aside no more than $5 and no less than $3. And this is 1890s money, so it must have been dear. And they gave it to Mr. Sawyer. Mr. Sawyer says, "This is great, but you know, after I'm done with it, I'd like you to pass it on to the older citizens." So I'm not exactly sure why they gave the cane to Mr. Sawyer. So that went along like that until 1935, when we stumbled. The cane was lost. And we went a couple of years, and finally, in 1978, a new cane was acquired. Not that cane, John, but this is a second cane. And it was presented to Moses Herman Bly, the town's oldest citizen. I was talking with Mike earlier. Moses was a neighbor of Mike's. Clearly, a lot of people remember him. I have an interesting story from Judy Vashel, who grew up in town, used to say, "Oh yeah, he always came down to the school bus every morning to see the kids get on the school bus." He was well into his 90s when he did that. Anyway, his cane went missing. So his niece, Florence Bly Perkins, some of you may remember her here in town. She didn't want any stain on her uncle, you know, because the cane went missing. So she ordered a block of cherry from Alexander's wood shop over in Sunapee Harbor. Didn't he make crutches, Mike?
I think so.
Yeah, made crutches. Didn't anybody ever go there and get kindling from the crutch shop over in South Newbury? Anyway, I wondered. So she ordered a block of cherry. And that's the cane that we have today. So here we go. We've been doing that since 92. Okay, now I want to tell you a little bit about Mike. Mike was born in 1929. Hoover was president. Didn't know it. But Mike wrote this. It was very kind to sit down and draft this. He went to the Baker Hill School. Does everybody know where the Baker Hill School is? On the corner of Baker Hill Road and County Road. Beautiful home today, but anyway, that's where Mike went to school, as well as several others. Eventually, I want to talk about Mikey. Mikey's real name is John. Mike or Mikey is a nickname given to you, you said, by your grandfather. Was that Joseph?
Yes. That was Joseph.
Who said yes? Good for you. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, you became Mikey, and everybody in your family here. Is it Mickey or Mikey?
No, it's Mickey.
Oh.
Oh, okay. You respond to any of those. Okay, that's great. Okay, great. Then by the way, it says that your father bought a piece of land across from Milligan's gas station.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that was.
Where the garage is now.
Yeah.
Or the,
Oh, okay, so we're the, what we would call it the tackle shack, right?
Across the street.
Yeah, which was formerly the Transmedic, which was formerly your dad's shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the land he bought was across the street from that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you went to high school in Warner, from 44 to 48. How did you get there?
We, school bus, we'd take the train in the morning.
Yeah.
And come back with the B&M bus.
Ah,
So it was a fun trip.
yeah. You had to be on time for the train.
You had to be.
There you go.
And I had to run a lot of times. So
In 1944, Mike joined the fire department. His father was fire chief at that time. And recently we had a meeting here with, there were several people. Mike, Barbara was there. We were talking about the 1947 fire on Mount Sunapee, where we had a pretty big fire that burned between, what's the name of the road there? Mountain Road, up the mountain and well into Goshen. In fact, it was big enough that Mike told me that his father set up a command center on Mountain Road, where I guess that was a table or something like that. And the governor reached out to various other towns to send people to come over and fight the fire. Mike fought the fire with what's called an Indian tank. And an Indian tank is this big brass bucket that looks like a backpack, and it has a pump on it. And he walked around spraying that. When he ran out of water, he went to the nearest brook, filled it up again, and went back out and hit the fire again. 1947. Anyway, I understand you got a proclamation from the governor from your time in the fire department.
yes.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Okay. Mike served in the Navy in 1949 to 1953. Worked on a repair ship on the East Coast. This was during the Korean conflict, but Mike stayed over here in the Atlantic. It says that when he came home on leave, he went to a dawn dance and met Rosemary Kelly. That must be you. I had not heard of a dawn dance.
Really?
Can you
Really?
enlighten me?
Yeah. These they were quite plentiful back in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
They started at midnight
Yeah?
and went to 4 o'clock.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
If you wanted to stay there.
Yeah. Okay. Mike married in 1956. In between all of that, he went to engineering school in Boston, and then got a job at with the state of New Hampshire. And how many years did you spend with them?
61.
61.
I went retired in 1991. So
Oh,
30,
that's a long time.
31, 32 years.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, I personally have benefited from Mike's engineering work. You did some engineering for me on my property, but what I wanted to tell you about is a couple of months ago, the cemetery trustees were looking at Lakeside Cemetery and looking at all the old documentation that we had, and we came across this giant engineering drawing that identified every one of the lots in Lakeside Cemetery, all drawn to scale. Guess who did it? You did. Your name was on there. Thank you.
I did.
You helped us. Anybody else here ever hire Mike? Yeah, Sally. Good. Okay. And it says here that your parents, which we know is George and Florette Croteau.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to kind of move to the black wall because we don't want this jumbotron in our photo, but we'd like to present the cane to you. And would you invite your family to come with you?
Yep.
Okay, so we're moving. You'll need to turn your necks. John, you're on. Barbara. Yeah? Let's stand over here.
Get out of the picture.
Oh, you'll stand down.
the picture frame right behind you. Move over this way. Yeah.
Then you can
Which
have
way,
two.
Judy?
That
This
way,
way?
for all of you, that way. Oh, John, you gotta go a little further, the picture frame behind you now.
Tell you what,
Oh,
Robert.
all right. Yeah, they're saying move that way because then the family can get in.
So-
You can't take that down.
Come on, turn around, Judy, help us get lined up.
We're gonna take a
Judy, where's Judy when you get ready?
This way. Okay, come on over here.
Wait a second. Judy, just taking a picture, stop.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, that's all right.
We're gonna shuffle to the right.
Okay.
This is harder than I thought it would
Not musical chairs, this is musical marching.
It's actually, it's, you know.
We should have done a drive around there.
I wanna get out of everybody's way.
Let's get a
I don't
couple
wanna
of
be
shots
right
with
away.
John giving Mike the cane.
Okay,
Barbara, get your brownie out.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Presentation?
Judy.
Deane, grab a hold.
Oh, thank you.
Stay cheese.
Yeah, smile.
Anybody else would like to come down, please do.
How about the whole family?
All right, now you want the family in.
Get Rosemary.
Get the whole family in?
Yeah.
In the middle there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, then the girls. Okay. I got.
Okay, I understand there's some daughters here. Please step into the, the one back there. Yeah.
We need to get a proper over back roll.
So, Mike, why don't you step in front of John? Okay, and you stand next to Mike. Oh, no, we don't want this pretty lady right out front. Okay. How we doing? Judy, how do we look?
We're not gonna get into that.
You don't need me.
Now, is that, are you gonna be able to see John in that? Although I-
Yep, okay.
Okay,
This is just.
No, actually, okay.
yeah. Smile.